They're 0-3, and honestly, you get beat down by the Packers. Okay, it's whatever. The Packers were more prepared, but I think what's upsetting a lot of people is the last two games. Justin Fields making horrible decisions in the Buccaneers game, and then last week, the Chiefs could have named their score. Like people were saying, we did a poll on our Instagram saying who is the biggest loser. Most people were picking the Broncos, and that's valid. But let's be real, the Chiefs could have named their score. They could have just kept going, but they stopped. And they were respectful. So I'm gonna turn it over to Jake first. I think there's a good amount of evidence to suggest this. I'm gonna save this for when I talk. But have the Bears given up at this point? What do you see, Jake?
I'm gonna say no because I do not believe in teams giving up on the season, especially this early in the year. Um, the Bears should draft a quarterback this year in the draft, and I will stand by that. And I think they should draft a quarterback next year. I will stand by that. But turning over to the Bears roster, I mean, Justin Fields has thrown 4 picks in 3 games. That's not very good, and he has a 67.7 quarterback rating over those 3 games. Darnell Mooney only has 4 catches. Khalil Herbert, they definitely have not gotten the same production that they did through 3 games last year. You mentioned the beatdown from the Packers in week one. I feel like that. No, I feel like that set the tone for the Bears season. And but going back to your question, no, I don't think the Bears have given up. Jordan will go to you.
I'm gonna say no for the same reason Jake said. It's only been 3 games. I don't see a team giving up this early in the season. Now, if they're like 1-9 in week 11 or whatever it is, then yes, maybe they have given up and maybe they're tanking for the number one overall pick. But this early, no, I don't think the Bears have given up. I still think Justin Fields can turn it around. He has the potential to do it. He did play at Georgia for 1 year. I've seen the potential he has, and I saw him at college at Ohio State, and I feel like he has the ability to do so. Will he turn it around? I don't know. Time will tell. But no, I do not think the Bears have given up. Evan?
So I think with the Bears, what I think is that have they given up? I think it's too early to determine that. I think you look at the season, it matters about the game. So yes, 0-3 or 1-9, as Jordan put it, you might you know you might take away just based on the record that they're giving up, but that's not necessarily true. It's how they play. Like I said, they got their lid blown off. And I know here's one tweet that I know, a tweet doesn't matter, but Jaquan Brisker, who's a defensive back for the Bears, was liking tweets that said the Bears should blow it all up. He was liking tweets that Stephen A. Smith said they're an atrocity. Is that really the look you want going in? It's still September. So they're on the path, and also their coach. Of course, Matt Eberflus. I mean, you're in your second year. Everyone's already calling for you to be fired. I don't know if I fully agree with that, but the Bears don't look like a great coach team. So you're going to have to analyze that going forward. But again, they could still fix it. But at this point, 0-3 in the NFL gives you a 2.5% chance to make the playoffs. So it's not likely they're going to win the division. The Packers and Lions are looking pretty strong, and it's not likely that you're going to the playoffs. So what you have to do if you're the Bears is find strengths. If you're down, run the ball. Get Fields running the ball. Get some running game going, and get this turned around. But you have to find positives. Otherwise, they're just going to destroy Fields. And that's where I don't understand, Jake, is you have to, that comes down to quarterback play. It comes down to quarterback play too. So if you just put in Caleb Williams, but Caleb Williams has all this stuff going around on him, I don't think he's going to succeed.
Yeah. So Aaron will go to you now.
Yeah, I kind of agree with all you guys saying it's, too early to tell, too early in the season to tell if they're really giving up. I don't think I would go that far, but if they keep playing and performing like this week after week, week in, week out, I think it's pretty easy to say in a couple of weeks they have given up because when you look at all the stuff that's going on with them, Justin Fields playing poorly, the stuff going on with their D coordinator last week and how he resigned and all that stuff, and just this complete mess of an organization when you really look at it. I think it is too early to tell, but they really got to turn some things around if they want to give the fan base, most importantly, hope that they still have somewhat of a chance to at least have a winning record. Maybe probably not making the playoffs, like you mentioned. 0-3 teams have a very, very slim chance of doing that. But yeah, it's simple. Justin Fields has to play better. And even if you, let's say, tank and take a Caleb Williams or any of the top quarterbacks in next year's draft, plugging and playing a top QB like that isn't necessarily going to solve all your issues. I mean, Caleb is an all-world talent for sure, and I know that more than anyone, but they have other issues besides just the quarterback, and yeah, I think they got to get that fixed as soon as possible if they want to have a chance this season.
So what comes next is the obvious question. I mean, you're talking about have they given up, have they not? But anyways, regardless, we see they're at a low point in 0-3. What comes next? This is where I do want Jake to defend why they should take a quarterback. So we'll throw it over to him eventually. But what I see, I already laid out that you got to find some positives, even if you're getting beat down. That's number one. But number two, I think just wait. Let's wait a little bit. Let's let the Bears gel. I mean, you went out and you got Tremaine Edmonds. You got what's the TJ Edwards. You got some players on defense. You got some players on offense. Cole Kmet, DJ Moore, Mooney, like Jake said, has only got 4 catches. He had 0 catches against the Chiefs. So let that play out a little bit more. But eventually it's going to come down to, do the Bears have the guts to make the organizational changes that they need? Like, yes, you can blame it on Eberflus. You can do whatever. And he might turn out to be a bad coach. But again, I think it's a little too early to know that for sure. But do the Bears have the guts to make the organizational changes? That remains to be seen. But anyways, Jake, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, man. I just feel like, Justin Fields, he was good in college, but we've seen college quarterbacks come to the NFL and, be bad. AKA Tim Tebow. We've seen quarterbacks come to the NFL and be bad, and I think Justin Fields, I like Justin Fields, but I think he will be another version of, I just don't think he fits in properly with the Bears. I think the offensive line, they got to change the offensive line. They got to get a quarterback that throws it farther down the field because, like I said, I like Justin Fields, but I don't think he throws, as far down the field as he should. And, we'll see what happens the rest of the year, but I think they need to move on after this year.
Jordan.
So with the Justin Fields thing, I think that, like I said, he can turn it around. He has the ability to. The talent's there. I saw it at Georgia, and then I saw it at Ohio State. But I agree with Jake. The offensive line needs to get better. What good is a quarterback throwing the ball if he doesn't have time to throw, right? As a Falcons fan, I've seen this with Desmond Ridder actually. Yeah.
All season.
Correct. All season long.
All right, Aaron, to wrap it up, what would you do if you're the Bears going forward, especially if this continues?
Yeah, I think you guys mentioned it. They got to change up their offensive line, do what they have to do, whether that's bringing in, whoever the top options are on the free agent market or something, because, like Jordan mentioned, you can't expect Justin Fields to play well if he has no time to throw. I mean, yeah, he can run, but how long is that going to last for? He can't just turn to another running quarterback that flames out after 2-3 years. I mean, that's just not a winning formula. So they got to change their offensive line somehow to make Justin Fields successful. And if the problems continue, honestly, I think you probably fire Eberflus at that point. I mean, I don't think you even wait till the end of the season. If these problems continue, probably by midseason, I could see him and other assistant coaches being gone on that coaching staff.
Yeah, actually, I want to take the last point now because that's a good point that Aaron brings up with the offensive line. First of all, you have two sides of that with the running quarterback. You have teams that just love to destroy the running quarterbacks. I think about RG3 when he was with the Redskins, and I think about Marcus Mariota as a Titans fan. Yeah, let's run him up the middle 20 times a game. Why is he getting hurt? It's magical, right? So you have that part of it, but you also have the offensive line part of it. I thought of this recently, and the two, because we've talked about the Eagles, how they're always drafting tackles. what you need to do is you always have to have a backup plan at tackle, and you always have to have a backup plan at running back. Running back's a separate topic, but we're talking about the offensive line. You always have to have a contingency plan because offensive linemen age quickly. And especially if one goes down, your entire team's in trouble if you don't have two good tackles. So then, no, that's a very good point, Aaron.